Many of you have been kind enough to send notes over on the Facebook page or at toddnewtononline.com telling me how much you enjoy Life in the Bonus Round, my book. And that means the world to me, not only because it's the story of my life, the story of my career, but because 100% of the proceeds benefit the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's disease research. So I hope, if you haven't already, you'll order your copy on Amazon or at toddnewtononline.com. Get your copy of Life in the Bonus Round.
Welcome to the host with the most, Toddcast. And now, direct from the Razzle Dazzle Studios, here's the tan, tattooed connoisseur of conversation, Todd Newton.
Can we talk about having a couple of drinks real quick here?
Well, if you gotta.
If I must. Hey, you drink beer? You're not a beer girl, are you?
I'm not a big beer drinker, no.
Okay. I stumbled across this beer a couple of weekends ago at a pool party called Tecate Light. It's a Mexican beer, and it's
okay.
It's by no means a Corona or a Dos Equis or a Modelo. It's a little below that, but I'll tell you what, it is good. It is good.
Are you sure you weren't just having fun doing what you were doing and that beer just happened to be there?
Well, that's a very good question. But Todd Newton has a 12-pack of that Tecate Light in the refrigerator, and I'm enjoying it. Not at the moment, of course, a little early for that. But drinking alcohol, not getting drunk, makes people in general more creative. How about this?
Really?
Yes. And the folks, the good folks, the researchers at Mississippi State University served vodka cranberries to 20 male subjects. Can you imagine being a student at Mississippi State?
Well, if I gotta.
And taking part in this. They're like, all right, we're going to give you free vodka crans. And I think they call those sea breezes, don't they? Vodka cranberry.
I think a vodka cranberry is Cape Cod.
Oh, I think you're right.
A sea breeze is when you put orange juice into it.
Oh, that's right. And a greyhound.
When you get a Bay Breeze, if you put grapefruit in it, a greyhound is
vodka grapefruit
juice vodka with a salted rim.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. If you salt the rim, it's a salty dog.
Anyway,
can you tell I went to bartending school?
I was going to say I thought you went to Mississippi State University here.
That too.
So they gave these guys drinks until their blood alcohol levels neared legal intoxication, and then they gave them a bunch of word association problems to solve. Which, by the way, if you're a male college student and you've had 4 vodka cranberries, the last thing you want is somebody giving you word association problems. That's like
I'd be afraid of the answers.
But
if I was the administrator.
Yeah. But these guys who had been drinking got more of the questions correct than the sober group that were asked the same questions. Yes. And they arrived at the solutions more quickly. And they say it's because the stuffy, safe part of our brains that always overthinks and overanalyzes loosens up when booze becomes part of the equation and your risk-taking barriers are taken down, so you just kind of let your mind do what it's supposed to do, and there you go. But we have to throw in the PS here, the disclaimer.
There's always a PS.
Yeah. Alcohol still slows you down mentally in general. So obviously, if you're driving, you don't want to do any of that. That's common sense, we would like to think. So, obviously you don't want to jump in a car or operate any kind of machinery, do anything that's important and or dangerous after you've had a few of these cocktails, unless it's a word association problem with a group of friends. What a party they must have down there at Mississippi State.
I'm telling you.
A few drinks and then, talking about 2 trains heading in the same direction at 200 miles an hour. Which one gets there first? Oh, man, sign me up.
It's like everybody jumps off the trucks and tractors and starts doing the word problems.
Let's get back to the talk that will keep you talking. This is the host with the most, Toddcast, with Todd Newton.
Every now and again we come across something we're like, just when you think you have the dream gig, you read about
there's somebody.
Yeah. Did you know, I've got a buddy that's getting ready to go on that Monsters of Rock cruise, with all the 80s hair bands. And then there's like an 80s one, too, with, Rick Springfield and Debbie Gibson and Culture Club. There's a cruise for everything out there. There is a nudist cruise.
Oh, why?
That's been around for a while. It's called the Bare Necessities Cruise and Travel. And they do 2 cruises a year. They do one in February, and then they do another one in the summertime. And the ship is called the Big Nude Boat.
Are just the passengers nude, or is the crew nude too?
It's funny you ask. Because there are some rules here. If you're going to get on the Bare Necessities cruise, if you're going to jump on the Big Nude Boat, there are some rules that you must, Maria, adhere to. Okay?
Oh, please tell me what they are.
Now, we've been to resorts where there's like a European pool, which means you can go topless, women,
right? And
then the American pool, and you always get the teenage boys sneaking over to the European side. I could not do the nude thing. There's no way. Could you do it?
No, and there are plenty of places here you can do it, but I'm not going to any of them.
Could you at least do topless, or no?
I could, but I wouldn't want to at this point.
Yeah. What about Al? Al would get rid of his swimming trunks in a heartbeat, wouldn't he? If you
Al wouldn't care, but I would make sure he kept them on.
Oh man, I just couldn't, man. And there's no way. I don't. Anyway, here are the rules.
What are the rules? I can't imagine what rules you'd have. What?
Well, these are good rules. These are actually good rules. Much like the 10 Commandments. I think, if everybody obeyed the 10 Commandments, I think it'd be all right. I think we would be okay. And just like if on the Bare Necessities cruise, if you just obeyed these 4 rules, I think everybody would probably have a good time. Rule number 1 on the Nudist cruise: you must ask permission before taking a photo of or with someone. That's
that makes sense.
That's a good rule. First, I think the rule should be there are no photos. But how do you enforce that now? You can't enforce. Everybody's got the phones. People are really sly with them now. But you got to ask permission. Number 2, men cannot get overly excited on the Bare Necessities Nudist cruise. If you do, gentlemen, please jump in the cold pool or think about baseball. That's the rule.
Oh, God.
For some guys, thinking about baseball would only make it worse, I think. Dinner in the formal dining room has a dress code. You cannot, this is the only time that clothing is required. And the dress code is no nips, no bits, no butts. That's the rule.
Because nobody wants any booty crumbs in their fish.
You're absolutely right. And the last rule, clothes must be worn while in port. And the crew will not be nude at any time.
Dang it.
Thank you for keeping the art of conversation alive. For more Todd, visit ToddNewtonOnline.com. And don't forget to rate and review the show today. The Host with the Most Toddcast is produced by the Host with the Most, LLC. All rights reserved.